All right, it is Saturday, 4 p.m. here. Time to start exploring Eorzea. We'll see if anybody joins us while I kind of go over the game plan for today. I have finally decided to actually unlock some of these jobs that have been sitting in Gridania and Limsa, including crafters and gatherers, and start doing that early Gridania Limsa game, explore some of those. That way I don't feel kind of locked into, oh, I'm working on this content, I should save this wherever I go. Plus, I'll be able to start leveling up these crafters and gatherers with daily turn-ins, and then just feel like I can play whichever class at the time. So, we're going to get going in Gridania first, I think. We'll do Archer. We've already done which ones? So we'll get Conjurer, Archer, and Lancer. And then we'll get the crafters there. And then we'll go to Limsa. We'll get Marauder, Arcanist, and what's the other one? Rogue is there. And then at the end of it, we'll hit Ul'dah again and pick up the last of the crafters and gatherers. And then I'll explain kind of how that works for the turn-ins and stuff, if we are able to turn in. I'm not sure that we will be able to yet. We'll do a little bit of leveling because the first few levels are super fast, and it won't be worthwhile to use the turn-ins for those. So let's get our party formed up. Let's see. Anyone who's joining us, feel free to pop over to Gridania first. Alright, so we'll just go in order kind of where the maps are. We're going to go kind of left to right. We'll start with Carpenter over here. And then because we are exploring fully, we'll pick up yellow quests as we go. So, Idel is looking for an adventurer to deliver a forgotten item. How original. An adventurer, precisely what we needed. Not a moment ago, we dispatched our newest recruit, Artor, to inspect Miketo's amphitheater. Regrettably, the young hero has more spirit than sense, and charged off without his tools. Suffice it to say, he won't be getting any work done. Would you be so kind as to deliver them to him? Wonderful, seek out Luhelic in the Acorn Orchard, which I didn't know there was a place called the Acorn Orchard, behind the atrium. He should have Artor's tools. So, easy delivery quest. Mera Pamera. How does he do it? Such clean cuts and atrocious and alacritous assembly. Yeah, very different than atrocious assembly. I cannot hope to mimic such mastery. I wonder who he's referring to. So, greetings, adventurer, and welcome to the Carpenter's Guild. We are the artisans who take wood and grant it new form and purpose as the archer's bow, the lance's spear, and the novice's shield. If carpentry holds any appeal, you should consider joining our guild. Might you be interested in learning the ways of woodworking? A wood carver! Wonderful, wonderful. Now, before we proceed, I think it only right that I acquaint you with our guild's storied past. Please do! Since the founding of Gridania, we have built our homes and crafted our weapons from the trees of the Twelveswood. As our nation grew and prospered, the woodworkers' repertoire expanded to encompass a greater variety of articles, and carpentry developed into an art. At first, there was no association of carpenters. Each individual worked and sold his services independently. However, the advent of watermills meant that more efficient construction methods were needed, along with formalized maintenance regimes, all of which necessitated an organization. This alt is about to have more classes unlocked than my main. You are kidding me right now. Please tell me you are kidding me. No. No. Snowy. No. Why? Ah! So, carpentry came about as a kind of a necessity. Okay. The Carpenters Guild was founded to oversee the operation of watermills and promote cooperation between woodworkers. Now, I must mention at this point that we owe much and more of our prosperity to the Great Loam Growery. Thanks to the hardworking botanists, we are blessed with the finest lumber in all Eorzea. This confluence of ideal circumstances allowed us to provide all manner of goods and services to the people of Gridania. My apologies, that was rather longer than I intended. Still, I trust you have a greater understanding of our guild. We expect our members to drink deep of the collected wisdom that the guild has amassed over the course of its history, to actively seek an understanding of wood and the techniques required to work it, rather than simply waiting to be taught. We expect, in short, nothing less than total commitment to the craft. If you wish to start down this path, speak to me once more. I shall explain to you the enrollment process. Well, I hope it's not as long as the history. Interesting though, like that you have these classes that do kind of synergize well together. So you've got carpenters and botanists who tend to do like a lot of logging, and then leather worker, you know, it comes from animals. So they do like a lot of naturey stuff here. Whereas in Ul'dah you have the alchemist, which is like it deals with a lot of the stuff that the black mages use, the thaumaturges use. They have the goldsmiths, and that makes sense for Ul'dah. And then they also have weavers for the fineries. And then over in Limsa, you've got kind of the bare bones necessities of pirating, the blacksmith and armory for the ships, and the fisher, and the culinarian is, you know, it really could go anywhere, but, you know, it's kind of the caboose child, so it's in Limsa. Would you like to learn more about the enrollment process? I would just like to enroll. You never noticed that? Oh, well, there you go. Wonderful. I should mention at this point that the Timbermaster Beaton assesses all would-be apprentices personally, so you will need to obtain his approval before you begin. Timbermaster Beaton can be a harsh and unforgiving man, but if you love the craft and have the will to learn, you could ask for no better tutor. He is quite simply the finest carpenter in Gridania. Culinary being in Limsa makes sense because of all the travelers. Hey, there you go. There's unofficial lore right there. Of course, it will take you some time and no small amount of effort to comprehend the full extent of his teachings, but you may rest assured that he will not lead you astray. That said, when you meet him, I would advise you to choose your words carefully and resist the urge to run away. Okay. Why would I run away? Hartford. There's no such thing as an all-purpose wood. An archer's bow is quite unlike a scholar's bookshelf. Fair enough. Different parts of the same tree can have different uses as well. Mind you, but these are the fundamentals of carpentry. You know? Very true. Yo, why can't I get one of these? That would make my carpenting so much faster. A little off here and a little there. I wonder actually what they're like working on here. And I wonder if you can jump onto it. I've never tried. Hey, nice, you can. You even float off the top of it. Cool. Alright. Well, let's see why we're going to run away from Beaton. Alright, another green adventurer come to play with saws? Well, then I suggest you first speak with the... Oh, you met with Korg, have you? That as well, but know that the decision to initiate you into the guild rests with me. Tell me, true adventurer, have you a mind to devote yourself to the art of carpentry? Oh, you make a good point, Snowy, because the fisher, yeah, there's a lot of, like, dishes that deal with that. Devote myself to carpentry. Yes, the look on your face bespeaks determination, or mayhap trapped wind. Okay. So my determined face looks like my farting face? Or my uncomfortable because I need to fart face? Still, you look strong enough to hold a saw, and if your resolve is indeed genuine, I'll give you the leave to remain for the time being. However, you are useless to me in your current state. You are as a seedling, some potential perhaps, but no more like to thrive than perish. Wow! Experience is what you require, boy, and I shall give you the means to acquire it. Take this saw. It is old, yes, but sharp as needs be. Now prove to me that you're not completely incompetent by taking up your new tool. Once you've done so, present yourself to me for inspection. I'm kind of seeing why people might run away. He's kind of abrasive, which is a quality for carpenters because, you know, they abrade. Alright, so we need to take up the saw, and then gear set list, and then we need to go carpenter and recommended gear and update. Cool. Repairing gear, which Disciples of the Hand have the ability to repair gear. You just have to have one. We're ready. Good, you've proven that you know how to grip a saw. Thank you. But you do not mistake it for a mere tool, for it is part of you, or of your arm. And can you put down part of your arm? No. Although if I use a saw, I can. Mark me then, if you do put it down, and worse, lose the bloody thing, I shall use mine own saw to demonstrate to you the pain of losing a limb. Oh, you picked up on that, did you? Yeah, but I jest. One-armed carpenters are scarcely half as useful in my experience. Wow. In any case, merely holding a saw does not make you a carpenter, whatever some might think. You must become one with it, and learn to feel with it as you work the wood. To wit, you must first know the wood. Demonstrate your knowledge by bringing me a length of maple lumber. Maple lumber is made from maple logs, just so. Our man Fariel by the entrance will furnish you with such logs for a nominal price. Of course, any fool knows that fresh-cut logs are laden with water. To guard against decay, we use wind shards to hasten the natural drying process. Do not forget to do the same. To synthesize, go into the crafting log. Okay, so funny enough, and of course you can use the market board if you're a paying member, but if you're not, for example, you can just go to any of the other crafting guilds for these early levels and just buy a length of maple, like lumber, because it's a common item. But for the sake of exploration and showing people how things work, we're going to buy, I think it's three maple logs. 1, 2, because this is the first introduction to crafting, and you know, you might be watching for the first time. So we bought our 3 maple logs. It's listed here that we have 3 and we're using 3. High quality materials is a different thing. If you had high quality materials you wanted to use, you'd use that. So you synthesize. And then the only thing we can do for now is use our basic move, synthesis. And then it goes up by an amount, which is always calculatable here. So it'll always go up by 6. When it reaches the end of the bar, you get an item. The quality bar comes into play later, and as we do more crafting and exploration, then we will kind of show how that works. Yeah, level 4 from 1 craft is awesome. If we craft another one, we'll probably even level up again. And the reason that we're level 4 is because every time that you do a new craft, you also get an experience burst for having completed that for the first time. So we got this bunch of experience for both doing the craft and doing the craft the first time. As I mentioned before, Ferial has maple logs in stock, blah, 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 blah. I'm ready to show you what I brought. Here, take a look at my lumber. Check out my wood, bro. Yes, I feel it. The wood tells all. There's no careless cuts. Saw and carpenter moved as one, as if dancing. Do you see this grain, how it flows softly, like syrup? Yes, I am responsible for how the grain flows. Durable yet pliant, suitable for weapons and armor both. This, child, is maple. Trace the grain with your fingertips and memorize the lines. Consider every characteristic when choosing your materials. How deep into these new classes are we going? Probably just do, like, level 5 stuff, to be honest. This is what it means to know the wood. The maple lumber you have brought me is acceptable. You have passed the first test. Yet for all it has grown, your knowledge is still lacking. You must needs learn more. A true carpenter knows the qualities and uses of every tree in the forest. When you know the lines of the maple better than those upon your own hand, return to me. I shall have another test for you. Until then, child, the next carpenter quest will be available upon reaching level 5, which we get some experience here. We might even level up to 5 to be able to accept this quest. So we're really not going to go super in-depth with it. I want to probably just get every level 5 quest. So I'm going to grab a couple of maple logs and see if I can get to level 5 that way. Yep, did. Okay, cool. So I'm going to go grab the level 5 quest. So Basic Touch is our first introduction to quality. So this says increases quality, where this says increases progress. Progress is you're getting the item complete. Quality is you're getting the option of having a high quality item, which has better stats generally if you're making gear, for example. It is plain from your bearing that you and your saw have begun to move as one, as true partners. Good, you're ready for the second test. You must be the wood. Before, you brought me a maple lumber to demonstrate your knowledge of wood. This time you will demonstrate your ability to create with it. I bid you craft me 3 maple shields. For this you will require maple lumber and bronze rivets. As you would expect, our guild supplier Ferial has no shortage of that which you require. Should you desire a more economical solution, however, you might consider a more traditional method of acquisition. Many materials from our craft are harvested by our steadfast allies, the botanists of the Great Loam Growery. Were you to befriend one of their number, you might be able to come to the mutually beneficial arrangement. Or if you would rather not be holden to another, you could even try your hand at botany. Now go and do not disappoint me. So, I can't actually see my duty list very well. It was 3 maple shields, or yeah, square maple shields, which require a maple lumber each, and then 2 bronze rivets each, so we would need 6 bronze rivets, and 2 more maple lumber. We can quickly do that. So he sells bronze rivets? Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 6. And then I'm going to need 6 maple logs as well to turn into lumber. We're just going to quickly craft this up. Maple lumber, synthesize. I don't need high quality items for this. I'm just going to do synthesis and not worry about basic touch at the moment. So we'll synthesize again. We're just going to turn this in. We're not going to try to get to level 10 or anything. Did he give a bunch of logs? Oh, he did. Why am I buying stuff? Oh well. Live and learn. Thanks for pointing that out. Yep, I have 30 more left. So, yeah. So, in fact, if I had tried to use any quality increasing, I wouldn't have been able to finish this because I didn't equip any of my better gear. So you'll see that the durability was 0, but we still made the item. That's an important thing to note. You can use your last durability to finish an item. But we're not going to quite get into that just yet. And you'll see that it goes down by 10 every time. So most actions will take 10. There are a few exceptions, and then there are ways to manipulate it as you go. But plan on it taking 10 every time. For now. Okay, so we've made our maple square shields, and we are already level 7. We'll get a little bit of stuff from this turn-in as well. What's this? Have you already bent your wood to the will? Wow. Bent the wood to your will. You are no workaday carpenter. Workaday carpenter. That much is plain. Well done, child. Your shields are most satisfactory. The pattern of the grain, the lingering scent of maple. Your choice of materials is excellent, and your construction above criticism. Few carpenters can claim such skill. Oh, well, I am level 7 after all. The Eorzea once favored shields of wood. Do you know this? Today it is not so. They, like your adventurer brethren, are wont to choose the safety of the armorer's metal. But a shield of wood provides ample protection for a lower price. It is readily made and readily replaced if broken. And while not so sturdy, it may yet serve to spare a man his doom just as ready as any shield of metal. To imbue the shield and spear with your strength, to pour your life into the wood that others might preserve their own, this is what it means to be the wood. Such responsibility is not to be taken lightly, child. You have passed the second test, and in doing so have earned this amateur's claw hammer. Though a saw will suffice for many tasks, a carpenter who wields blade and hammer both can perform this trade with greater ease. If you wish to improve as a carpenter, it is essential that you learn to use the two tools in combination. Continue to refine your skills and return to me when you are ready to take the next step. Certain gear grants you bonuses to your craftsmanship, control, and CP values, and those are just different stats. Craftsmanship will help you increase your progress or your actual creation of the item. Control will help you increase your high quality chance, and CP is your, it's like a MP for crafting abilities. So when it refers to synthesis, that's progress, and quality is the high quality stuff. So we got some new gear. We're gonna get a bunch of these. I'm just gonna get the money because we're gonna outgrow it so fast. Okay. Cool. So we're not gonna try to do more carpentry stuff. We're gonna move on. Actually, there's something behind here in this little area. This delivery quest. Adele sent you? Give me a moment. Here they are, still fresh and unused as the day he got them. Doubt he's even realized that he left the things behind. First day, and he forgets his tools. Daft Sod needs a kick up the mumble. Good cover. Alright, so this would be the level 10 quest, that's right. And then we'll move down along... Let's see, we can't... so... Real fast, we're just gonna grab our friends. Invite. Ah! Okay. There is another quest. Oh, it's right here. This one, several adventurers are having difficulty summoning their retainers. Should you wish to offer your assistance, you will need to find these troubled souls in Limsa, Gridania, and Eorzea. The rewards will be the same regardless of whom you help, so don't hesitate to aid the adventurer of your choice. Okay, so this is going to explain ventures for us. You don't have that? Do you have your retainers? Because if you haven't gone to the retainer vocate in town, you'll need to in order to get this, I believe. She's never ignored a summons before. Yeah, so if you haven't done it, go ahead and do it when we go to Old or I guess you can do it from any retainer vocate, but it will headquarter there, right? Beg pardon, sir, but would you be willing to aid a fellow adventurer? It's about my retainer. She hasn't returned from her latest venture to Nine Ivies, and I fear something terrible may have happened. I would track her down myself if I could, but I have an important appointment I must keep. Mayhap you could go and search in my stead? Oh, you're terribly worried, but you have an appointment. Oh, come on. Alright. And Sina, I sent you an invite, by the way. So I can't send you another one. Let's roll over here. Check out these blues. So, Neo, let's see. Neo Grumdula wishes the patrons of the Carling Canopy would keep a closer eye on their belongings. As if I'm not busy enough without playing Lost and Found. Oh, do forgive me, friend. Once again, one of our customers has departed without her belongings, and I'm at a loss for what to do about it. While I understand that adventurers have many cares on their minds, 'twould make my life much easier if they could keep their personal effects in order. But you did not come here to lend an ear to my grumblings. This is the book in question. The face of its owner was unfamiliar to me, but Errol over there seemed quite smitten with her, as with every pretty lass he lays his eyes on. But that's neither here nor there. Might I trouble you to inquire as to the girl's whereabouts? I found the man to be less than forthcoming ever since I spurned his advances. Well, how dare you? And we've talked to Mune before, and we know who she is. Adelhard. You know who Mother Mune is, brother. You'd do well to take her advice to heart. There's some as say she's overbearing, but without her, we adventurers wouldn't be able to get by here in the Black Shroud. I myself owe her much and more. So she's well respected. There's coin to be had in hunting bandits, I'll grant you that, but there are times when I long to do something more worthy of song. Gridanian's food is as bland as it gets. I heard rumors, but gods, the water has more flavor. Crunch, 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 crunch. My father always said, burb, masticate in moderation. Okay. You chew in your moderation there. I don't give two about how the food tastes. All I need is drink. And there's an inn and a smith and an arms mender. Actually, I'm curious. Because that goes somewhere. Obviously, we can't. Back here. Goes somewhere. We can't access it, but... You look odd. Did you do something with your hair? A little lanolin goes a long way. Alright, so we'll talk to Errol. Ah, the sweet little thing with the journal? Of course I remember her, and remember her well. Had a warm smile to warm the heart, and a laugh, a lilt, one might say, to tickle the depths of the soul, and she was most eager to hear tales of my many travels, which speaks to a keen and sensitive mind. Jilly, I believe was her name? No, that's not right. Jilly was the redhead from last week. Ah, darned if I can remember. You must understand, no small number of comely lasses seek out my company. Uh-huh. I dare say keeping all the names and faces straight is an adventure in itself. Any road, the girl spoke of paying a visit to Apkalu Falls before traveling on. Like as not, you'll find her there now, shedding a tear or two about our parting. Do not pass along my regards if you see her. She should be readily recognizable in that charming straw hat of hers. Oh, and he's got a quest for us. Oh, and he wants to teach us the harvest dance. I make no secret about my disinclination toward Gridanians, as you may know, even though you flirt with all of them. But I just saw a rare sight that I would be remiss not to share with a fellow adventurer. Just over yonder in the acorn orchard, I saw a comely maiden. Oh, really? New to these benighted parts, I'd wager, dancing with a gaggle of younglings. 'Twas a dance I'd not seen before, and I've seen my fair share. Do they perhaps ready themselves for some fresh rite? After so much doom and gloom, I wouldn't mind a day of merrymaking. Just the thought excites me. Would you see what it's all about? Sure, Errol. I'll go see what it's all about. Oh, in the house that death built. If you're poking around looking for work, you must be an adventurer too, am I right? You won't find much here, I'm afraid. Seems the only thing people talk about these days is that nasty bit of business down near Issamhar, which is not a name you hear often. Surely you'd heard the stories of a strange portal suddenly appearing in the ruins down there? Hey, don't give me that look. I'm only telling you what I overheard from the whalers. They say on the other end of it is some sort of labyrinth. The thing is, every time I go down there to map out the place, nothing is the same. A mystery if I've ever heard one. Frankly, I'm more than happy to let it stay a mystery. Strange apparitions, booby-trapped corridors. Going down there is nothing short of suicide. Still, the prospect of treasures is awfully tempting. Don't take my word for it, though. Head down to Issamhar and you can hear it straight from the Chocobo's mouth. What do you think, gang? Should we engage in some House of the Dead? Alright, so let's see. This person wants us to take us over by the Crafting Guild again, or Carpenter's Guild again. We will also go over and do Archer's Guild. And then we'll jump into the other part. You're a Palace of the Dead noob? Then it would be perfect. I don't know if we'll quite get to it today. We got a lot on the plate with these unlocks and stuff. A day of merrymaking? Is that all you adventurers think about? I'm here to teach, my dear fellow. For me, these younglings are to learn a most sacred, meaningful, and uniquely uplifting dance. Wow, I never would have thought any of those. Now, I realize full well that tradition may not hold much allure for the young, but I didn't think they would up and run away. You're a Palace of the Dead noob too? And then we've got somebody over here who just got them out from Eureka Orthos. Congrats, by the way. The manner of disobedience is unprecedented. It's all the more surprising considering they obey the Timbermaster without demur. What I wouldn't give to know his secrets, but I must wait here for my unruly charges. I wonder, though, might you ask the man how he tamed them? How much work did you have to do to get the mount? Alright, I do not recall summoning you, Eorzeon. Is there something you wish me to inspect? Apparently not. Speak your mind, child. So the younglings will not heed their dancing master, and I am to provide the solution. Master Yedith seems able enough, but having no generosity towards herself, she has none for her charges. Give the younglings these on her behalf, and bid them return to their lesson. There are two, one you can get from a golden chest, and one where you have to clear 4 times without wiping. Which one did you get? Alright, so I don't need this open. Why do I still have it? We'll hit the Archers Guild on the way. Oh, congrats, congrats. Big achieves, bro. Need any help running dungeons? I'm game to help with these Dynamis Q times. Hey, not at the moment, but we can put you on the friends list or invite you to the link shell. Because we're always happy to have people join us. Alright. Oh, I even did get the Archer's Guild. Awesome. Okay, so we're going to roll up, grab Archer. And I've been forgetting to like see things as I go. Oh, interesting. Cool. I never noticed that. There's a little thing. I wonder if the final test is to shoot an arrow through that. An arresting person that I've never seen in my life. Respite cleanses the mind of impurity. True enough. Have you perhaps heard mention of the Ixali tribe of beastmen? Long beaks, sharp talons. They're a brutal race, preying on both man and beast with equal savagery. It's not an exaggeration to call them our most bitter enemies, and now we have frequent reports that the birdmen seen not a stone's throw from the city walls. Have a care not to end up in one of their stew pots, stripling. I will make sure not to end up in the stew pot. How do you say this? Famibus? Hail, adventurer. Might you have a moment? I'm in need of a trustworthy soul to deliver a missive to Parnell. These people are so lazy. You can find her in the shaded bower, in the midst of the markets. Why would I simply not go and speak with her myself? Well, as I'm sure you've observed, Gridanians have a tendency to be rather... I mean, in person they can be, well, a little on the prickly side. That's what I was saying. The matter is not urgent. Simply hand over the missive the next time you find yourself in the markets. Please, as a favor, from one adventurer to another. And then let's learn about the long and storied history of the Archers Guild. Greetings, adventurer, and welcome to the Archers Guild. It is here that archers the realm over gather to master the bow. We engage the enemy from a distance, ever seeking to alter the course of battle with a single well-placed arrow. Or 400 single well-placed arrows. If you have a mind to become an archer, then you have come to the right place. Do you wish to join our ranks? Man, that was so much faster. Oh wait, never mind. Here comes the history lesson. Allow me to enlighten you on both the history and... of both our art and the guild. Gotcha. The bow is an ancient tool that has existed since before our fair nation came into being. As an implement of war and hunting both, it protects us from our enemies even as it keeps us fed and clothed. Archery as practiced in Gridania was born of 2 distinct styles of bowmanship. I didn't know that, actually. The first was devised by the longbow sentries of the Eorzea, who once ruled the lowlands, while the second belonged to the shortbow hunters of the formerly nomadic Mikote. As you will doubtless be aware, both races ultimately came to call the Twelves at home. Though the two peoples began as rivals, they gradually learned to live together in harmony. Interesting, though, because you don't really see a lot of Makode around here, do you? Except for in the Archers Guild. We'll have to pay attention to that as we run around. During this time, they learned from one another, their two schools of archery intermingling, to give birth to the art as it is known today. But this wouldn't have been possible if it weren't for the Trappers League, which I've never heard of in my life. The guild was established in order to promote sustainable hunting and cooperation within the hunting fraternity at large. As a happy consequence of this union, the guild's members came to engage in friendly contests of skill. Inspired by such competitions, a handful of their number began to focus on perfection as opposed to mere practicality, transforming a skill into what may be termed an art. These individuals would go on to form a guild of their own. The Archers Guild, where men and women gathered to attain mastery over the bow. More than a few members of the God's Quiver loosed their first arrow within these very halls. And that, my friend, is a brief history of the archery in Gridania. Doubtless you are more eager than ever to take up the bow. It would be my pleasure to recommend you to our guildmaster. You must receive her permission if you're to join us. If you excuse me a moment, I shall see to it that the relevant lists are amended. Pray speak to me again in a short while. So are you resolved to join the Archers Guild? Yes! The look in your eye bespeaks your determination. It would be my pleasure to refer you to Guildmaster Eorzeon. I don't actually know how to say her name. Lest you worry unduly, Eorzeon is an affable and kind-hearted woman. Even those not of the guild have known to seek her counsel on various matters, and ever have they been given fair hearing. Eorzeon awaits you in the training area yonder. Present yourself to her and impress upon her your desire to join the guild. It's interesting. Archery was once about trapping sustainably, and then it became an art form, is basically what she said. Greetings, adventurer. I'm told you wish to join our ranks. I'm Eorzeon, the master of the Archers Guild, and I bid you welcome. Our doors are open to all who have the will to learn. Allow me to explain the basics of our art, and offer you a foretaste of that which we teach the members of the guild. The bow's greatest advantage is its range. Unlike those arms used in other disciplines of war, it allows one to strike the enemy from afar. Though the bow may not boast the destructive force of a sword or spear, its myriad strategic applications more than compensate for this shortcoming. An experienced archer can immobilize an enemy by striking a leg, or sap its strength with a poisoned arrow. Rise to become a virtuoso of archery, and a veritable deluge of death will be yours to rain down upon your foes. Isn't there literally a skill called, like, Rain of Death? Or Rain of Blood or something? By fighting from a distance, we can better assess the battlefield, and thereby determine the most advantageous course of action. Yeah. She is a very good looking Eorzea, I will give you that. Also, bows are one of the best looking weapons in the game. Interesting take. Sometimes I think they're so ridiculous. I'll have to get you to screenshot some of your favorite bows, though. This is of paramount import, as our role in battle is to exploit the enemy's weaknesses. With the requisite placement on and timing, but a single arrow may serve to turn the tide of battle. To this end, the guild seeks to instill a discerning eye within its members, that they might learn to strike at vulnerabilities swiftly and surely. Now, any half-wit can bend the bow, but it is no simple undertaking to become a skilled archer. You must be prepared for a long and arduous journey. Are you resolved to complete that journey? Yes. You don't have one, but you're always jealous since Astro always has some variation of a ball. Yeah. Astro, it's like always the same. That is well. From this moment forth, you may consider yourself one of our number. Now lend me your hunting log, if you would. I shall add to it the names of such creatures as would provide a fitting challenge to an archer. And to help you on your way, I bestow upon you this short bow. Is it because of my height? Is that why? So rude. Arm yourself with your new weapon and then speak to me again. I would have you undertake a trial to gauge your fitness to join the guild. You got a short bow, even though you're gigantic? Maybe it's not racist. Alright, so what we need to do, we need to go into the equip there, and then the gear set list, and then create a new gear set. And I am a little OCD about this. It's not actual OCD, but I'm going to move my set up, and I'm going to try to keep these in order. And then recommended gear, equip, and update, and talk to her. Yes, the bow becomes you, Eorzeon. Now, before proceeding any further, I must needs gauge your innate aptitude for archery. To this end, I hereby assign you to the following trial. Slay the squirrels, ladybugs, and funguars that roam just beyond the city gates. 3 of each should suffice. Hey, we know that short bows are easier to draw than long bows for beginners, but, I mean, I was very worried that she was going to be all racist on me because I'm 3 feet tall. Okay, it's legitimate. In doing so, you will prove your fitness to join the Archers Guild. It goes without saying that you must do so using your bow. Report back to me when the task is accomplished. Go now, Eorzeon, and earn your place within these halls. Can't I just, like, shoot these targets? Like, they're just right there. She's gonna shoot me. Oh, I'm shot. I cannot steady my hands. Relax, and do not forget to breathe. To be fair, my short bow is twice your body size. I gotta see. Yeah. And then, like, if I pull mine out... Oh, I don't even... I removed that command. And then we'll talk to Silver multiple times. It was my people, the Eorzea, who gave rise to the noble tradition of archery. To see it thus parodied by outsiders, it is an outrage. You can see his pride already. Only of those of the gods' quiver are permitted past this point. I suggest you step away from the doors. And then, yeah, we'll come here at certain times. None but authorized personnel may enter. It's interesting that they keep it at the back of the Archers Guild, which is kind of far away from everything else, to be honest. Alright. Chansteloop is a very interesting name. Alright, so we'll hit the Shaded Bower. Or, I don't have that one. What am I doing? I'm gonna go to the Aetheryte Plaza and just jump up the, what's it? Zone transition point. And we'll need to make sure that I get the, Ethernet shard there. So we can have access to gates first of all. Sorry, I had to do a quick thing real fast. There are so many people here to talk to. We will only really focus on the ones that are not obvious, like Tool Supplier and Materia Melder. Girthsid or Girthkid, probably Girthsid. Love to help you, mate, but we ain't nowhere near ready. Are you ever ready? Does anyone actually remember him ever selling anything? Independent Tailor. Marquilort. My brother Hadrifort and I oversee these rosewood stalls, while that Ul'Dan merchant Rishushu is responsible for the ebony stalls. Of course, Master Parsamontret holds the real power within the markets. Hadrifort thinks Rishushu is a decent enough lass, but I say that Ul'Dan wench can't be trusted. Aye, she's always dealt fairly with me, but it doesn't pay to ignore one's instincts in business. The calamity forced many a local merchant out of business. It was only when Ul'Dan's appeared that the markets began to regain a semblance of their former life. I love how Ul'Da is basically the catalyst for all prosperity whatsoever. But an interesting thing here, you don't, because of all that business going on in Ul'Da, you don't think about in the other cities the fact that there was devastation to their economy as well, because it's just not presented to you up front like it is with the refugees and stuff. Profits are high, but so is tension between locals and outsiders. While it can't be denied that the Ul'Dans have helped us greatly, their presence gave rise to new problems. Interesting. Jeweler, Battlecraft Supplier, Summoning Bow. Just random guards. Parsamontret. The Master of the Markets is waiting to permit an adventurer to assist him in filling an order from the Lancers Guild. Lost, are we? Unsure how to navigate the rosewood and ebony stalls? Very well, if you wish to know more of the markets, I shall give you a practical education free of charge. As Master of the Markets, I entertain many requests. This order from the Whalers, for example, but I delegate their fulfillment to my hirelings, that I might tend to such tasks as I alone am capable of performing. For your personal betterment, I shall delegate the fulfillment of this particular request to you. I bid you search the stalls for a bone spearhead, a pot of beeswax oil, and a length of bramblewood rope, and deliver them to Seinguled of the Lancers Guild. There's much and more to be found in these stalls if you have the dedication to seek it, and the coin to procure it. However, as my representative, you need only offer my name as payment. None will deny me. In fact, many will be all too eager to part with their wares, so numerous are the depths I mode. A fine proposition, is it not? I am spared a simple task, and you gain priceless mercantile experience. Why, I should rightly charge you for such an opportunity. Thanks. But worry not, I am a man of my word, and the terms will stand. Deliver the goods to Seinguled, and she may even see fit to reward you. Alright, so there's a couple down here. At the Tool Supplier. Welcome, welcome, at the behest of Master Parsamontret, you say? To what do we owe the pleasure of your company today, my lord? May I take this opportunity to say that it is an honor and a privilege to serve you. But you must have your beeswax oil without delay. Yes, yes, feel free to take as much as you require. It's a Namazu in Here's clothing. That's those dark eyes that give it away. And you will, of course, inform Master Parsamontret that I was only too happy to accommodate his needs, yes? What? Only one yes that time? Come on. Sorry, mate, we ain't open yet. Oh, one of Parsamontret's? Well then, what was it you said you wanted? A bone spearhead? Ah, here she is. Take it and tell him we're square. Alright, and then Parnell. Greetings, sir. Might you be looking to secure the services of a retainer? Phoebus. What's this? A missive from Phoebus at the Archers Guild, you say? Whatever could it be about? Let's see now. She wants to know about the available stock of potions at the markets. Hardly a matter that warrants a letter, much less requiring the hiring of a courier. Why could she not ask the question in person? I sense that adventurers from far beyond our borders find Gridanians somewhat difficult to deal with. Are we truly so devoid of warmth? If we mistrust outsiders, it is only because so many of them have brought chaos to the Twelveswood, and as such sins as theirs are not soon forgotten. Yet I suppose we might endeavor to be a little less cold. Alright, we'll hit up this side here. So, Apothecary, which... yeah, just sells basic potions. Tradecraft Supplier, Aelfred. That merchant from Ul'dah. I wish she'd bug her out back to where she came from. I swear every time she opens her mouth, it's about coin, coin, and coin. Well, yeah. Lalafil. What can I say? You got discerning eyes, sir. The craftsmanship truly is something, ain't it? Perfect for securing any manner of parsimantret. If I never hear that name again, it'll be too soon. And here I was thinking I'd make a guild today. Here, take the brambleweed rope and bugger off. Ririshu. Come on, we've the best prices in the realm. I came all the way from Ul'dah to sell my wares, but the locals are proving an unreceptive lot. Why, it's as if they're averse to novelty, to change and progress. I'm going to need a new approach if I'm to make any coin here. Or perhaps an old one. Yeah, so like they go to such lengths to put this person in here and then have them be talked about over here for only the benefit of world building. That's some dedication. Culinarian will sell some dishes, an arms bender, market board. Okay, cool. We'll go report back to Parsimantret at some point. It's not asking for turning yet. I'm gonna grab this Ethernet shard and we're just gonna be about our business throughout town. Maybe that'll free up something. I never noticed there were people down here. I'll have to go say hi. You've attuned yourself to all the Ethernet shards in Gridania. The Blue Badger Gate, the Yellow Serpent Gate, the White Wolf Gate, and the airship landing are now accessible. Blah, 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 blah. And this takes forever and I can't move. There we go. Let's go shopping at this leatherworker's outlet. The Fen Eel Fineries. What beautiful craftsmanship. And this person's like, I've seen better. Welcome to Fen Eel Fineries. It would be my pleasure to serve you, my lord. If you had an order placed, that is. We only deal in bespoke items, you see. Which bespoke refers to being like crafted on demand, right? Think of all the fish this could carry. Fish? Have you lost your wits? No, she's actually got a good idea there. Miko's love fish. It is the perfect plan. If I can just get the right trim, these genuine fen eel fashions will net me an admiral's ransom back in Limsa. I mean, hey, what's that look for? I'm simply considering a purchase for my mum. Yes, only the finest leathers for my dearest mum. Cena got sidetracked. What do you mean Cena got sidetracked? Lancers Guild? What are you doing? We haven't been to the Lancers Guild yet, just so you know. Bashful boy. Scoop with both hands, then look left, up, right, down. Or is it up, down, left, right, is that the, what's the code? What's that game that's the code for? Is it like Mortal Kombat or something? I wish she would let me take notes. So, wooden toy. Oh, why this is made of maple? It's unmistakable. Master Beaton would tell you the grain almost flows like syrup. Someday I'll be a timber master like him. He wants me to go back to Mistress Yadith's class, doesn't he? He always tells us that you can't... If you can true a piece of wood, there's no excuse for not truing yourself. Alright, I'm going. Wait, is that an Eorzea child? Wait. That's the first time I've ever seen an Eorzea child model. Has anyone else seen one? That's nuts. It was an Eorzea child we just spoke to? It tells me how much I pay attention to who I'm talking to. I guess so. I just never thought about it. All in good time, my friends. We met our end of the bargain. You have your guild. Now where's... Wait. Now where is what? Now where is it? Okay, so just a regular transaction. Never been down here. There's nothing down here, though. There's this person fishing. Or just chilling. With nothing to say. But it's a good place to do it. And then while we're down here, or I'm down here at least, I'll go see what this couple of layabouts is up to. Why is my finishing touch always but a fingernail's breadth away from perfection? I fear my mentor has lost all patience with me. At this rate, I shall never join the ranks of the fenil artisans. They're not children. They're just young. Now that I think about it, I have seen more childlike character models than I think about. Because like there are some Mikoti children, and I'm not just talking about like Chloe or whatever. I've seen a couple of others, and some Huron children. An Elzen child wouldn't be too far off the map. This is the Leatherworkers Guild, producing the best leather goods the guild can buy. If you're willing to wait 2 years, that is. They have more orders than they can fill, see, which is why it's become necessary to maintain a whaler presence here. Interesting. Suffice to say, some customers ain't used to disappointment. Like that prickly fellow over yonder. Wonder when he'll give up and go home. Alphino and Eorzea, they're not children. Those stubborn leatherworkers, I spent a fortune on this marmot pelt, but they refused to use it in my order. Those blasted creatures are already dead. Surely it'd be a greater crime not to make it into a pair of boots. And then there's another person just chilling about here. Ain't a lady allowed a moment rest? I'm pretty sure this is the same character model as the person and pose down below that was by the... Yeah, but they're like 16 in Eorzea, which makes them like 400 in here. Come on, they're so mature. Greetings and welcome to the Leatherworkers Guild. Here we produce the finest leather goods, taking care to honor the lives which were sacrificed for their creation. Interesting, I didn't know they did that. And yeah, the code that we were talking about earlier, the up, left, right, whatever, the Konami code, it's just used all over the place now as a meme. But there was an original use for it. Our leather armor is worn by the archers and lancers of this great nation, and favored by all who prefer that protection does not come at a cost to mobility. If you wish to place an order, I bid you visit Fenale Fineries. If, on the other hand, you have a mind to join our guild, I would be happy to assist you. Might you be interested in becoming a leather worker? Yes. Nothing would make me happier than to welcome a new initiate into our ranks. However, it is essential that you first understand the burden that every leather worker must bear. Crushing debt? Stress? As you cannot have failed to notice, the Twelveswood is blessed with an abundance of life, and we Gridanians have long hunted the forest creatures for both nourishment and clothing. But Gridania is unlike any other place. The elementals that watch over the Twelveswood have never looked kindly on the taking of life, and those who flout their governance do so at their own peril. The elementals decreed that life would not be taken without due necessity, and so the Trappers' League was formed to regulate the hunting of animals. The Leatherworkers Guild was subsequently founded to manage the fair and equitable distribution of pelts. Nowadays, adventurers are a major supplier of pelts, and leather goods have become widespread, but in times past, they were rare and precious. The Leatherworkers Guild has not forgotten those times. We treat leather with no less respect than the living creatures whence it comes, and craft goods of the highest quality. In so doing, we honor the lives lost and minimize the need for further killing, an oft-forgotten benefit of our product's surpassing durability. You know, there's an actually interesting reason for why they are so picky about their products, and I've never seen it explained. Our guild is also the sole proprietor of the famous Fen-Il brand of leather goods, the pride of Gridania. These products represent the ultimate expression of our core tenets and the transcendent technique which shaped them. Know, though, that being a guild member does not automatically make you a Fen-Il artisan. You must earn the right to become one. For most of the leatherworkers here, having the fruit of their labors bear the Fen-Il brand is yet a distant dream. That is the life which awaits you, should you choose to walk our path. Success will not be handed to you, but I guarantee you will have the opportunity to seize it. So if you wish to make a name for yourself and craft goods which are the envy of all, you've come to the right place. Speak to me once more if you wish to learn about the enrollment process. I do want to join. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, it said go talk to Guildmaster Jiva. She's a brilliant artisan, personally responsible for the creation of countless Fen-Il products. You have doubtless heard her name before. The Guildmaster's patterns are uniformly elegant, and with them, even novice craftsmen can cut their materials with minimal waste. It is for her to decide if you're fit to join us. She can be found in the work area within. Present yourself to her and do not waver in your determination. Okay, 16 is very childlike for a race that lives hundreds of years, but they're so mature. Come on. They don't have any sarcastic tendencies or sass or ignoring or anything. The guild's reputation for peerless craftsmanship is acknowledged even in Ul'dah, hence the products of Fenil fineries command such high prices, and no right-thinking person with so much as an ounce of taste would deny that they are worth every gil. Why I often visit Gridania just to look up the exquisite quality of their work. And you're wearing like a robe, like a janky robe. Okay. They don't have crushes either. Yeah, and yeah, you'd have to be a child to have a crush like that. So yeah, I can see that there are some novices. It's seldom acknowledged, but leatherworkers shoulder a heavy responsibility. Our raw materials come at the price of an animal's life, after all. Some of our crafters give up even the trade, unable to bear the guilt. Of course, rather more of our crafters give up the trade because they're unable to bear our master's scorn. Kuma Moshroka. Please be informed that Atelier Fenil is not accepting orders for bristletail boots at the present. The hunting of bristletail marmots has been prohibited due to incessant poaching. As a result, we have been forced to cease production until further notice. Wait a minute. So this makes the whole poaching thing that Gridania has been plagued with make more sense, because it's strongly regulated, but they can go poach and then they can sell it outside of town to someone else for money. Interesting. As the 12th Woods changes, so too must we change. To evolve and grow is the nature of life. We endured the calamity by not fearing the forest, but by following its example and adapting to survive. Everything seems to be in order today. Alright, cool. I think that's all to see in here. So you wish to become a leatherworker. I've spoken with Randall. If you've spoken with Randall, then you've been told what it means to work with leather, the weight you must carry, the responsibility you must bear. Not just the elementals, mind you, but also to the guild. Our craftsmanship is unrivaled, and each member is expected to live up to that reputation. Once you join, there's no turning back. If you dishonor us, I shall flay you myself and make a chocobo saddle from your hide. Wow, she's intense. Will you swear to uphold our traditions and be the best leatherworker you can be? Yes! Very well, you may learn our craft within these walls. Though you still seem ill-equipped to do even that. I will give you a head knife to help you on your way, but the rest is up to you. Do not presume that your association with us means your work will bear the Fenil name. Until you prove yourself worthy, you will not be permitted to do so much as touch a Fenil product, much less craft one. Now then, if we're to continue your initiation, you need to put that knife in your hand first. Talk to me when you're ready to begin. I'm ready to begin! Leatherworker unlocked. Alright, head knife, and then gear set. Create. Recommended gear. Boom, and update. Okay. To gauge your potential, blah blah blah. You pass the first test, gripping your knife by the handle and not the pointy end. A lot of people fail that. Now it's time to see how well you can wield it. You make me a circle of leather. You'll need an animal skin to do so. Newcomers to a craft often imagine they need to go hunt in order to obtain their materials, but if you have the sense the gods gave a chocobo's butt, then you'd realize that's hardly the case. Osgith over by our receptionist sells the most of the items most commonly used in our craft. However, she cannot supply you with earth shards. And that's it for my advice. The rest is up to you. Once you've made the circle of leather, bring it back to here to be inspected. I can't say I have great expectations for your work. Just see to it that you do not waste good skins. Now, away with you. Woo, okay. We're gonna go get an animal skin from Osgiliath. Just kidding, that's Lord of the Rings. Animal skin, was it? And then leather. Why am I buying this? Didn't I just get some? Or no, maybe from hunting. Okay. Either way, I have animal skins. I spend so much time paying attention to what's going to be next that I spend very little time actually paying attention to what just happened. Isn't the leather ready yet? When you're finished, bring it. Blah, blah, blah. Aye, this is indeed leather, after a fashion. Thanks. Your work is amateurish in the extreme. Thanks. The leather is unevenly tanned and practically unusual. Thanks. Oh, thanks, Zephie. Welcome, by the way. I love this hat. It's my favorite. But you show promise. Well, about as much promise as the leather you haphazardly crafted. Man. Still, it is apparent that you paid due respect to the life from which it came. Had you performed any worse, I'd have cast you out without a second thought. But you didn't, so I won't. Approach each task in earnest as you did today, and I'll continue to advise you. However, you alone are responsible for your development. This is a business we're running, and neither I nor your seniors have the time to hold your hand. Apply yourself to learning our techniques, and return here when you have acquired some skills. Mayhap then I will have an errand for you to run. Alrighty, so I got more animal skins. I guess I'm making leather for a while until I'm level 5. Animal skin. Okay, and we're done there. So we'll grab the next quest. Oops. So I said, getting used to that knife I gave you. It doesn't happen very often, but you have a chance to find me unoccupied. How about you show me what you've learned? Let's say you make 3 leather chokers. After all, there's more to our craft than simply tanning hides, and chokers are about the simplest thing one can make. You'll need circles of leather and an animal sinew to accomplish this task. Osgith can provide the sinew, and I'm sure you recall the method for making leather. I hope your technique has improved since last time. Now, while we have ample stock of skins, there are other means of procuring your materials. Hunting for your own pelts, for instance. I know what I said about you before, but that was about assuming it was necessary. Choosing to do so is another matter. Indeed, it may teach you to apprentice the source of your livelihood. Not all leather workers are wont to choose this method, but you are an adventurer, are you not? When you finish your work, bring your chokers here for inspection. So yeah, I can go hunt. And then animal skin. How much leather do I have? I have 1, and I need leather choker. It's right there, so I have animal sinews, I just need 2 more leather. What you up to today, Zeffy? Alright, leather choker. They don't have to be high quality for these early turn-ins either, so I'm just gonna go straight on. You do get more experience, but it's not really worth it at this particular stage. And crafting is so simple at this stage. Like, just 1 button. Alright, so 3 leather chokers. You finished your work then? Sure have. I suppose there's no denying that these are all leather chokers. If truth be told, an Opa Opa could have achieved similar results given skin, sinew, and time. Thanks. Oh, I don't mean to make light of your efforts. You fulfilled the order precisely as requested. A job well done. Now then, I will teach you something to supplement your learning. Through physical training, the body can be made strong and resilient to injury. Not so the throat, which remains ever a vulnerable point. Although a leather choker provides less protection than a metal gorget, it is simple design that makes ideal for everyday applications. This simplicity also makes it an ideal choice for beginners practicing basic techniques, and for guildmasters assessing their progress. As you are, you would make a passable leather worker, one among the nameless multitudes who scrape a living out there. Whether you rise to become something more is contingent upon your efforts. Consider this amateur's all a reward for your efforts. You'll find an indispensable partner to the head knife as you continue your training. Now I must return to my work. If you chance to find me unoccupied again, mayhap I will teach you something else. So kind. Till then, keep your nose to the grindstone. We read that before. And again, I'm just going to take the gill. I love how the mannequin is wearing underwear, by the way. Okay. And then we roll. And where do we roll? Not out that door that I'm not paying attention to because I'm looking at the map. We roll over to Mikedo's Amphitheater because it's along the way. And we explore this beautiful city and all the layabouts. I say banish each and every outsider. The seeds here say we must accept them. Simpkin is a bard. I think we come here to unlock performance. Traveling troubadour and master minstrel at your service. I shall be stopping here in Gridania at a time and keeping my senses open to new inspiration. Duimasand has a need of an adventurer to deliver a message. Oh, really? Never seen that before. You there, adventurer, could you deliver a message for me? My superior, Millicent, is stationed outside Atelier Finil. She's doubtless busy, but I'm past due to be relieved. Long past due, truth be told. However, I can't simply abandon my post. Yeah, you could never leave this tree. Speak to her for me, would you? But choose your words wisely. She has a bit of a temper. I'm sure we'll be back to Fenil. We'll also get this yellow quest here. Greetings, traveler. Come to see Mikedo's famed amphitheater, have you? I am a stained caretaker of this fine centerpiece of Gridanian culture, and I fear I must needs trouble you for your assistance. You see, it is not only well-meaning men like yourself who are drawn to this place. The sylphs often visit in the dead of night, long after our citizens have gone to bed. We have no particular objection to their presence, and they seem grateful for the accommodation. So much so, in fact, that last night they left us a token of their appreciation, in the form of vegetables. A lot of vegetables. Their generosity is more than welcome, of course, but the sheer quantity of the things makes gathering them all something of a chore, and it's not as if I don't have enough to do already. Yeah, you're not standing around. In short, I'd be most grateful for any help you could give me. Alrighty. And then while we're here, we'll also talk to Artur. What? I'm terribly busy right now, and would thank you not to bother me. I'm a carpenter of prestigious oak atrium, and I have repairs to... Here, have this recruit's toolbox. Where did I put my... Oh, I take it from the guild too, then. What's that? Idel sent you? With my tools? Yes, I was actually just about to go and... This is so embarrassing. My apologies. It's just, I've been so focused on the task at hand. You know, it's a miracle that this amphitheater survived the calamity. It was the Carpenters Guilds that saved me... Or that saved it, moving it piece by piece and rebuilding it. When I saw that they had done for Gridania, I knew what I wanted to be. But when they told me my first task was to come here... Anyway, thank you for bringing me my tools. You're new to the Oak Atrium too, right? Well, then let's both work hard for the good of the guild, eh? Oh, and may the elementals watch over you and keep you safe. Got some dark matter. So, Mikedo's amphitheater. So, I guess the Oak Atrium is... basically the main thing of the amphitheater. Vegetable offering. Woodworker Guild? Where are you seeing that? We can still be friends, can't we? I suppose so. Been there! Wait, there is a Lalafell over here. Yawn. That's it? That's all you got for me is yawn. Estain. Well done, friend. Mikedo herself would sing you praise. She knew well the power of art, how it could strengthen the soul of a nation and preserve its history for future generations. This amphitheater was her greatest gift to Gridania, and it was her wish that all folk use it freely, not only for performances and festivals, but as a place to share memories and make new ones. I wonder if the sylphs came here to do just that. That said, I do wish they would find other ways to express their gratitude. We have no need of vegetables here, but mayhap the Carline Canopy can make use of them. Anyway, thanks to the elementals for bringing you here today. And then, Franquette and Ailua. These are names, I swear. Well do I remember the day the Order of the Twin Adder was reformed, the first day I laid eyes upon the elder seats here. Graceful yet strong, with a voice like song. When I close my eyes, I can still see her standing there, clear as day. I heard that the Order of Twin Adder was officially reformed here, in Mikedo's amphitheater. That was before the amphitheater was moved, of course. Naturally, if it had been moved. Mailon. We're closed, come back later. Would that every day could be a festival. And then Link Shell Distributor, Delivery Moogle, Calamity Salvager, things we don't actually need. We already hit the Ethernet, so we'll just keep going along our way. Stopping in at this fine place. Curls came in $8 chicks. Why, that's terrible. Apothecary, I guess? The Whistling Miller. No, it's just a grinder of everything, I guess. 10 ounces and 4 ounces of stuff, so... Little John. They literally sell rye flour, sunseed wheat flour, and cornmeal, which are all ground here at the grindery. Yep, that's pretty much all it is. It exists for flavor, and I don't mean that as a pun, because, you know, it's flour. It's not really flavorful. Hedon. Were I to substitute the ether value in accordance with the professor's law of conversion, that would produce a theoretical limit of 10 score 5 and 50, or should there be no limit? Oh, I didn't notice you there. So utterly engrossed was I in my calculations. Lest you wonder, I'm a student of the esteemed Professor Lambertaint, the leading authority in the field of... You weren't wondering at all, were you? No, I was not. Actually, I was. Gleeful girl. But But I don't want to be a dancer. Why can't we just play? I mean, I guess we could dance for fun, but I don't think Mistress Yedith knows how. She's so uptight. Is this one of Master Beaton's toys? Does this mean there's more if I go back to class? I'm on my way! Melaine. You there, you're an adventurer, yes? Good, I have a task for you. Take yourself over to the Conjurer's Guild and speak with my student Breya. She has her hands full preparing for the auguries that would likely welcome your assistance. In her excitement to becoming a conjurer, I fear my young disciple is pushing herself beyond the limits of her endurance. Enthusiasm is all well and good, but it would not do to have an initiate collapse from exhaustion. And then, Amiko's got nothing to tell us. Stout Elm says, these conjurers are something, aren't they? Healing the sick and communing with those elementals and such. Truly amazing. Ahem. Don't suppose you could tell me what an elemental is now, could you? Hey, if anyone wants to fill him in, feel free. All I know about the elementals is that they are elementals, and they're aligned with certain elements, and they exist for the glory of the 12 Woods' natural bounty, you know? Like, that's it. Hello, handsome. Why, this is impressive. All this work must be of Fufucia and the Botanist Guild. I wonder if it's worth the bother to present myself during my stay. Whee. Are you, like, watering the weeds? Those look like weeds. Are they really? They're just hovering? That's awesome. Stop right there. Not another step. I apologize if I startled you, but please be careful. The ground here is covered in rose hips. You see, my siege pouch had grown so threadbare that it finally split open. Unbeknownst to myself, I've been scattering Eorzea rose hips all along this road. Oh, good sir, if you would help me gather them, I'd be ever so grateful. Thank you. Your kindness is truly a blessing from the elementals. The rose hips should be lying on the road between here and the Great Loam Growery. Tread lightly, lest you crush them underfoot. So what happens if I crush them underfoot? Naturally, nothing. Maybe they programmed in that if I ever run into Eorzea, she'll be mad at me. Not that I could ever meet someone of such deitic stature. Chocobo thing, but there's really nothing there. Fufucha, Guildmaster, which we'll talk to in just a minute. And then you actually can go down there. You just have to, like, work your way all the way around to go back up. So we will eventually get down there. Sicily, the nerve of some outsiders, waltzing into Gridania as if they were the elemental's gift to the 12s. I'll wager most of them don't even know what a hoe is. Unless they're from Limsa. Sandra, mind the flower pots. You break it, you bought it. Hello there, and welcome to the Botanist Guild. What brings you here today? Interested in becoming a botanist, are you? Then you've come to the right place. At our guild, you can study under some of the finest botanists in all the realm. An enticing proposition, is it not? So what say you? Would you like to add your name to our roll? Excellent. You're now doubtless eager to dive headlong into the nearest shrubbery, but first, a brief explanation of the origins of the Botanist Guild. Our guild boasts a long history. Its roots, can be traced back some 500 years ago, to when our nation was still in its infancy. It was around that time that a precursor organization to our own was established to facilitate communion with the elementals. But I suspect you're already confused. Not being forest-born, let me put it in a way that your kind would understand. The 12's Wood simply doesn't belong to man, but almighty beings known as the elementals. It is by their leave that we Gridanians dwell here in the forest, and it is by their leave that we receive of its bounty. Ever since mankind settled in the 12's Wood, it has been necessary for us to obtain the elementals' permission prior to taking aught from their domain. Historically, that was a rather involved process, that only a precious few could actually commune with them, specifically those conjurers blessed with the ability to hear the elementals, aptly known as hearers. In order to relay the elementals' will, the botanists, in a more timely manner, a new organization was formed with a hearer as its mouth and ears. This organization would eventually evolve to become the Botanists Guild. To this day, the guild employs the services of a hearer who offers guidance to our members. Yet this is no longer our organization's sole concern. We also seek to promulgate correct harvesting practices, that is, practices which honor the will of the elementals. And that, my friend, is the story of how our guild came to be. I trust you have a newfound appreciation for the work we do. Actually, yeah, I do. It's kind of making sense with the way that the elementals work, the hunting and all that jazz. Now, with all this talk of elementals and communing, perhaps you're wondering whether you're fit to join us. Well, you may cast such doubts aside. You haven't need to be You don't need to have been raised as a good little forest-born boy to be a botanist, nor do you need to know the secret forest-born salute. I jest. You just need a healthy respect for nature and the will to learn. If you honestly believe that you possess these things, it would be my pleasure to recommend you to our guildmaster. Please wait a moment while I see you to the formalities. Speak to me again when you're ready to begin the enrollment process. I am. Music to my ears. It will be a pleasure to refer you to the Guildmaster Fufucha. Our Guildmaster's knowledge of nature is second to none. One need only witness her uncanny knack for spotting the finest timber to see that hers is truly a God's given talent. It is for this reason that she holds the title of First Botanist. Oh, but you need not be overawed, for she is the kindliest of souls. You will find the Guildmaster just outside this building. Seek her out and impress upon her your desire to become a botanist. And definitely does look like Thinkford from behind. Not so much up front, though. These are some massive pumpkins. Alright, Fufucha. I'm Fufucha, the master of this guild. Pleased to make your acquaintance. I take it Leon Colt has given you an overview of botany already? Well, then I suppose I'd better continue where he left off. All Gridanians may rightly claim to share a close relationship with nature, but none is so intimate as that of the botanist. It is our calling to nurture the natural environment of the mutual benefit of wood and man. But even as nature holds us in her loving embrace, providing for our every need, she is at heart an unsentimental creature, one that will take life just as readily as she gives it. Being a botanist means coming face to face with this uncomfortable truth on a regular basis. Knowing this, do you still wish to walk our path? The look in your eye bespeaks the passion in your heart. Or that of trapped wind. Very well, I bid you welcome to the Botanist Guild. To help you on your way, I present you with this hatchet. Take it up and then present to me again. I would assign you your first task as a botanist. So once again, we are going to go through the process of equipping, getting a gear set, and reporting in. Gatherer role actions are different, and they're shared by miners, botanists, and fishers. Okay. Equip and Fufucha. So I see you have your hatchet on you. Very good. Botanist's hatchet is his livelihood. Never forget this. If you fail to keep its blade clean and keen, your efforts will yield you naught but sweat and splinters. But let us see about your first task. Ah yes, to help you get a grasp of the basics of botany, I would have you gather 10 pots worth of latex. You could just go to the marketplace if you want. The forest yields to us many and more resources. It's the botanist's job to know what can be found and where. If it is the latex you require, you would do well to search just outside the Blue Badger Gate or the Yellow Serpent Gate. Seek out the mature trees that stand in those areas and put your hatchet to use. I wish you well. So she would send us, or no, White Wolf Gate is the high level one. So Yellow Serpent goes to the North Shroud. That's right. Botanists can use their tools on trees, mature trees, and then they can find their way with Triangulate. So we need 10 pots of latex. What to plant next? How about Seeds of Doubt? This place is big, actually. This season I switched formula. Beta works far better than Alpha. I knew the leaves looked greener. Well, then you guys should try Gamma. They're just growing a lot of stuff. It's kind of dark, so I can't really see anything. No thief's gonna get his grubby hands on our grain while I'm on watch. Nay, not so much as a single mangy squirrel. So, like, they have a silo, essentially. It's not a silo, built into this rock. And then let's see if we can... Nope, we cannot. Jump down there. And then water floweth there and out. And you can get stuff by boat. And you can't go in there. See if this person says anything. I think you've had enough rest today. Just another half bell, I swear. That's a half an hour, dude. Another one? Good grief. Not much going on down here. Still kind of like cool looking though. Let me just... Archevalier is my best guess at that. Archevalier. What is today a tiny sprout may one day grow into a mighty oak and spread its seed throughout the land. It is no different with men. We are all equals in the circle of life, seeking only to survive. Ethelred. Another adventurer? You're like flies on muck. Whatever Gridania did to deserve such a plague, I don't know. Spit. Wow. I suppose times are changing, and they keep telling me I should, and perhaps you might be... Oh, just help me. Just take this Eorzea rose to Waldo of the Stillglade Fane, won't you? Well, what are you standing there for? Go and deliver the rose. Jeez. Such a friendly guy. The foreman's still watching? Darn. You lazy bones. Good grief. Alright. So, latex sap, we don't have that right now. This person is actually like halfway in between, so we'll just sprint there. We'll hit up things along the way. This is taking like more time than I thought because we are actually like exploring Gridania. So we'll probably not make it to Limsa today. Pray tell me about that you have recovered all the rose hips and abandoned not one to a traveler's boot. Blessings be upon you. I feared this path would be lined with roses next year. Not that such a wondrous sight would be wholly objectionable, but Eorzea roses are ill-suited to this location. As a botanist, it's my responsibility to see Gridania's plants grow and thrive in the most ideal conditions. A place for every seed, and every seed in its place, you might say. 'Twas most gracious of you to aid me in my time of need. I pray the elementals extend to you the same kindness. So there's a lot of talk about the elementals. We talk about how they're kind of... Somebody said that they were all-powerful. I don't know that that's quite accurate, but they do have a lot of power. And they are mentioned a lot. So, like, what exactly are they? Are they minor deities in a sense? These gates lead outside the city. Take the road north if you seek Hurstmill, and keep west if you're heading to Fallgord Float. Okay, so it's just the exit to North Shroud, which I don't know that I've walked out this way ever. With Guyminster being so tall, it looks like a babysitter in his 3 charges. The potatoes in his farmer. Nice, guys, nice. And then this is another quest for later. Pimo Nalha. Nafaka's altar is a holy place. It's here that hearers communicate with the will of the elementals to men. The elementals govern all aspects of life in the Twelveswood, and from the creatures we may hunt to the articles we may bring into their domain. As a result, foreign merchants dread visiting the place, conscious that their wares may be unwanted. Bubbly boy. I ran off because it's boring. All Mistress Yedith says is how we're doing it wrong. Ah. Hey, that's one of Master Beaton's. If this is supposed to be a bribe, then you've got yourself a deal, adventuring man. Do you actually regularly go out this way? Waldo. Welcome, adventurer, to the Conjurer's Guild. Here we commune with the elementals and heed their guidance. Yet I must confess the elementals did not whisper of your coming. We indeed did request an Eorzea rose from Ethelred, but that you should bring it to us in his stead means that something wonderful has happened. Ethelred has held a long grudge against the many adventurers who have come to pass through Gridania's gates. His beloved flowers are renowned for their beauty, you see, and were once highly coveted by Uldan collectors, that they were picked nigh to extinction by fortune-seeking foreigners. Yet if it is peace we desire, we must learn to look beyond mistrust born of the past and overcome our prejudices. So has the elder Seedseer taught us, and so do we live. I doubt it was easy for Ethelred to entrust this Eorzea rose to you. When he hears we have received it, he will come to know that not all outsiders are deserving of scorn. Truly, it was by the will of the elementals that you came to us this day. Please accept this as a token of our gratitude. 118 gil. Gathering interface. Okay. And then we've been around here. Please, you must do something. The girl's only seen 12 summers. But that's not right. Such is the will of the forest. So they're basically just saying the elemental said she's in trouble and that's fine. Wow, that's a little messed up. Would the spirits bless me business? What do you think this is? Ulda? Nafaka's altar is a place of contemplation. Visitors are asked to refrain from creating a disturbance. Funny enough, I have never actually been back here. I mean, I've been to Nafaka's altar. I didn't know you could actually walk back here through this, though. Funny enough. None but authorized personnel may enter. Okay. You're not silent if you're speaking, you goob. Just kidding. Ahead you will find Stillglade Fane, where the conjurers conduct their meditations. If you have business with them, you may proceed. And then Harald says, betting all my earnings on the auguries I am. I cannot take another bad harvest. And Waldo, listen, adventurer, to the rustling leaves, the flowing rivers, to the very pulse of the land. We conjurers of the Stillglade Fane interpret these whispers of the elementals and convey them to the people of Gridania. And you gotta go a long way to do it. Into a tree, into a rock, past a river, over a river, and through a wood. Go quietly within these caverns, lest you misunderstand. I cannot speak of such sounds as ears might hear. Here we open our hearts to the whispers of the elementals. Take care that you do not disturb the communion by bringing in tumultuous thoughts. What say the spirits of the harvest? May your wounds be healed. Thank you, milady. Otherworldly voices have been waking me in the night, but I haven't the faintest idea why. I have done not to incur the elemental's ire. You must be a hearer then, my lad. Well met, adventurer. You're come to Stillglade Fane, home of the Conjurer's Guild. It is an adventure itself to get here every time. Yeah. We conjurers harness the power of earth, wind, and water that abound in nature, and thereby weave spells of healing and protection. You do not envy these magicians for the longest trek ever? Yeah, I go to the Conjurer's Guild and then sprint every time. Ever do we seek noble souls to initiate into our mysteries? Might you be such a soul, come to join the guild? Yes. Then allow me to provide you with an overview of what it is to be a conjurer. Conjury is the art of healing and purification. Its practitioners harness the power of nature that they might bring about change in the form of spells. Primitive magic such as that once wrought by individuals known as mages, meaning those of ability to manipulate ether, have existed since the dawn of time. It was not until some 5 centuries ago that conjury emerged from the shapeless agglomeration of spells and charms, an event which led to the founding of Gridania. In those dark days, the elementals would not suffer man's presence in the Twelveswood, forcing forebears to make their homes beneath the earth, in the great subterranean city of Galmora, which we've heard a little bit about, but not a lot. Hopefully we'll get more lore as we go. But their desire to settle in Twelveswood continued to burn fiercely. Time and again they sought to curry the elementals' favor. Unlike men and other creatures bound in temples of flesh, the elementals are beings of pure ether. That's an interesting clue. Recognizing this, the mages of Eld reasoned that with their talent for etheric manipulation, they might allow them to commune with these theretofore enigmatic creatures. It took 5 long decades, but our forebears finally succeeded. Their reward? The elementals' permission to dwell in the Twelveswood. So it was that the nation of Gridania was born. Since that time, the elementals have taught us to live as one with nature, speaking to all Gridanians through hearers, those mages who are able to commune with them. So it's different from a primal, because they're born of ether, but they're not required to have, like, followers, and they don't temper, and they have power and stuff, but I mean they're more just kind of like they exist, kind of like sprites and other things that are just etheric beings, but more sentient, I suppose. As for their intimacy with the elementals, the hearers would go on to attain greater mastery over the forces of nature. Thus did they conceive the art of conjury. And that, my most attentive listener, is a brief history of conjury. If you have the mind to walk our path, I wholeheartedly recommend you join our guild. It would be my pleasure to explain the initiation process to you. Speak to me again when you're ready. I'm ready! That is well, I shall introduce you to our guildmaster, Brother Eorzea. Brother Eorzea presides over the Conjurer's Guild, even as he serves the nation as a hearer. You will find him in the meditation area within. Go to him and make known your desire to join the guild. Yes, I am Bria, but I am also awfully... Oh, you say Lady Melaine has asked you to assist me? In that case, I suppose you might lend a hand, especially as mine appear to be shaking, though only very slightly. Not that it's anything to worry about, mere nervous energy. I would be exceedingly grateful if you would take this Azema rose oil and refill the censers. There are 2 that require attention. Please have a care not to disturb the conjurers in their meditations. You must be as quiet and unobtrusive as possible. And you have another one for me. Might you perchance be comfortable around Vilekin? If so, I have urgent need of your assistance. You see, I was preparing for the forthcoming auguries when I found, to my great embarrassment, that we lacked the requisite quantity of scarlet oil. If it's not too much to ask, I would be grateful if you could resupply us in time for the ceremony. Scarlet oil can be harvested from ladybugs, such as those found near the bannock. 6 of the Vilekin should yield the necessary amount. Pray return to me as soon as you have it, which we're going to go kill at least that many for the hunt log. This is the unicorn quest chain, isn't it? That's the thing. I don't even know what that means. Are you talking about like a mount? Sensor... Where's the other sensor? They're all like bored to death and sleeping. Greetings, adventurer. I am told you wish to become a conjurer of Stillglade Fane. I am Brother Eorzea, master of this guild. But you Before you are formally accepted into our ranks, I would impart to you the principles of our conjury. Pray attend me well. Conjury is an arcane art that takes life and the living for its domain. Its primary purpose is the salving of hurts and the granting of protection. What? What did I do, Snowy? Adventurers such as yourself often stand up to the front lines of battle. Owing to this, you are like to find yourself in many situations wherein a capacity for healing would be advantageous. Mind you, there's more to conjury than that. By harnessing the power of earth, wind, and water, conjurers also capable of weaving spells that wreak havoc. In terms of sheer destructive power, I interrupted their lecture. Oh, I didn't. They didn't hear me. Conjuring may pale in comparison to thaumaturgy, but its capacity to defend one against aggression more than compensates for this relative shortcoming. In mastering healing and purification, not only will you be able to mend wounds and purge afflictions, you will also be able to breathe life back into the fallen. More than simply hearers, yet not true dealers of destruction, conjurers realize their full potential when they employ their powers in support of others. This, my dear adventurer, is what it means to be one of us. Mayhap it was too much to grasp upon a single hearing, but worry not, for the meaning of my words will become clear to you in due time. You will come to understand that conjury is not the sole province of the conjurer. Should you wish to walk our path, I must needs ask you that you solemnly vow to embrace nature. So, hug trees, to heed the will of the elementals and the 12s would alike. Can you make this vow? I knew your answer ere your lips had parted, yet I am no less pleased to hear it. By the power vested in me, I hereby name you a member of the Conjurers Guild. If you would be so kind as to lend me your hunting log, I shall add it to the names of such creatures as would pose suitable challenge to a conjurer. And to mark this momentous occasion, I present to you this cane. Though it may be old and weathered, it will serve you well as you take your first steps upon the path of the conjurer. Hug sprouts, since more can't be hugged with the arms of yours. Hey, rude. Take up your cane, Eorzeon, and present yourself to me once more. I would assign you your first task as Conjurer of Stillglade Fane. Don't make fun of me for my arms. I chose the tallest setting. And once again, we are equipping. We're also, like, gaining levels by just unlocking classes. Funny enough. Alright, so we also need a gear set. And we're going to take this one up. 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 Yep, I'm that picky. And besides, I was waking up the people, Snowy, so that they could hear the lesson. That's what it really was. Tadazuka has the shortest arms for sure. I picked the small setting. I mean, it's adorable, even by, like, comparison to me. The part of Conjurer becomes you, Eorzeon. Without further ado, I shall assign you your first task as Conjurer of the Stillglade Plain. Just beyond the city gates, you will encounter squirrels, ladybugs, and funguars. I would have you slay 3 of each. Lest you wonder how I can so coolly order the taking of life, that is a good question. Know that many things are not as they once were. As a consequence of the calamity, and I may add, through no fault of their own, these creatures have become a burden to the 12's wood, a burden it cannot well bear. As a conjurer, it is your duty to carry out the will of the forest, and by employing your powers in so doing, you will come to learn something of your art. That's a good explanation for why we are okay to kill all the stuff outside the city. Go now, Eorzeon, and perform your first task in the name of the elementals. And then we report back to Brya, because she's on the way. My thanks, I must admit, to being rather impressed by how faithfully you followed my instructions. I had always considered adventurers to be an uncouth and rowdy lot, but I see you're capable of courtesy as well. Lady Mullane has a fine eye for character. You should feel honored that she chose you for the task. Yes. Yes, of course. Alright, we have more quests and things to do. One thing that we did not do is explore the Apkalu Falls and Lancers Guild area. So we'll have to hit that before we go anywhere, really. As we are probably approaching the end portions. There's nothing really along the way, but we'll go. Makedo's Amphitheater. They're both just pathways. We can take one or the other, and we're not really missing anything. Good things, she looked the other way and is deaf. Who? Oh. Never mind. Yeah. So running. Actually, I keep mine on all 1 for healers. I know I'm crazy. You'll see it in action. Hodden. Lost your way, have you? The path here will take you to Makedo's Amphitheater and the Leatherworkers Guild. So we come up to Apkalu Falls to talk to Jonathan, Master of the Rolls. You've accomplished enough feats to keep the bard singing for a lifetime. Such an achievement shouldn't go unrecognized, and to that end, I'd like you to have this. Consider it a token of my highest esteem. I have? I've accrued achievement points? At all? Certificate? Interesting, okay. We could buy a goblin cap and a fat chocobo head and a ribbon. Which, I mean, I'm gonna do it. There's no question. Ishuahe. Some 5 years ago, a great scholar stood vigil before these waters. It said he came here to rally all of Eorzea in the fight against the Garlean Empire. I do wonder what became of the man. I should like the chance to meet him in person. I wonder who she's talking about exactly. Louis Sois? Yeah, probably. Wandering Moogle has a quest for us for a Fantasia. What's this? You're able to see me? That's amazing, Kupo. That we should thus meet can surely be no coincidence. And so, to mark this fateful occasion, I shall make you a gift of magical potion. Fantasia, it's called. Hey, don't sprinkle water on me. And legend hold that it allows you to alter your appearance. May it serve you well, Kupo. And how did you even get the water sprinkle emote? Like, where was that? Imitra, which we will do for like... We'll talk to her. There were other categories? This whole time that thing's been there and I didn't even realize it? Accessories, weapons, and others? Yo, I don't think I ever actually looked here. What? No. I've missed so much. I'll have to come back here on my main. Or maybe I had just forgotten. Let's see. Ballroom etiquette, flower. Because I definitely don't think I have this. Yeah, I probably could buy everything with my main, to be honest. I've done a lot of stuff and things. Crazy. First time in my entire existence ever using this emote. Alright, Millith Ironheart. Pardon, I don't believe we met. You've something in mind, you say? Let's see, you're the comely lass that he was talking about? My journal, thank the 12. In my haste to escape the clutches of that insufferable mutton-monger, it slipped my mind entirely. Might I be so bold to ask your name? You have my gratitude, Eorzeon. It may not look like much, but I count this humble diary among my most prized possessions. Its pages brim with tales of the most heart-stirring sights to be in our realm, as told to me by sensitive souls I've met in my travels across Eorzea. Tales that have struck me with a most incurable case of wanderlust. As an adventurer, you too have seen the realm, I'm sure. But I would ask you, Eorzeon, have you truly seen her, borne witness to Eorzea in her myriads of splendor? Well, that's what the stream's for. So we'll get there. Have you stood on the palm-fringed beaches of Costa del Sol just as the sun peeks out over the horizon, its rays kissing the sands beneath your feet? Have you lost yourself in the night sky of the Sagali, adrift amidst a boundless sea of stars? Ah, but why do I even try to convey with words that which must be seen to be appreciated? Best advertisement for sure. To our fortune, whithersoever we wander, Eorzea's beauty is but a stone's throw away. If I may quote to you from my... Excuse me, goodness gracious. I quote to you from my journal, yes, this is the one. Afore the fane, beneath the two that are as one, her divine cup runneth o'er with light ethereal. Such were the conjurer's words, and I would see as she saw. I saw for myself before coming here, and I can assure you the conjurer spoke true. Indulge me. Go there and look out upon the beauty before you. I would hear your thoughts. I actually did all of the sightseeing logs on my main, and I can tell you the ARR ones were such a pain because of like time and weather restrictions. You know why this place is called Apkalu Falls? Someone once tried to breed Apkalus here, or so the story goes. Looks like it didn't go too well, though. Unless they were really good at hiding. Yep, this is a sightseeing log. Alrighty, so we'll roll over here. Check out this person who you can triple triad just out in the boons. Small talk. My wife and child. The men and women with whom I shared a stage. They're gone. Every last one of them. There's nothing left in my life worth a darn. Except for triple triad. We'll have to triple triad him at some point and refresh his spirit. We'll come here and have a chat with Ursandal. Ursendale. The manor I served in was no less magnificent than those found in the Gentry's ward yonder. I'm guessing this would be the Gentry's ward. I've never actually learned anything about this. And magnificent it should be, for it was a formerly home to the generation of seed seers. 2 generations of seed seers. However, the elder seed seer before the last declared that he needed not such extravagance, and that the abode came into the ownership of the D'Artancourt family. D'Artancourt. Severain. This district the district beyond is home to distinguished Gridanians. Commoners may not enter. That includes you, adventurer. Excuse me? Go back when she came, or I'll be forced to remind you of your place. My place? Sir. Don't even give me that. There were two Y-tribe Mikode. I wonder how they're related to Y'shtola. One you for sure know the answer to. Is it spoilery? Because if not, you can share it. I wonder if those two at the falls even know each other, to be honest. It is spoilery. Okay. Well, you'll have to keep it in mind for when we get there. Alright, so let's see. There's a home here we can not enter. It doesn't have the usual bar over the door, though. Nemo Mamov. Could you possibly be? Oh, actually, I know something about this NPC. I'll have to do a short about it because it's pretty interesting. No, forget I said anything. My mistake. You'll actually not see her at certain times of the day. And then all she says is, could you be? And she's not involved in any quests anymore. So I'll have to do a little bit of an exploration on that one. A Lancer's Guild mini mart, I guess. Sells gladiators. It sells weapons for like most of the base classes. And that's all it is. A lot of bows. Interesting. I've never actually set foot in there, ever. And I've never been back here either. I'm sure there's nothing really. But, you know, we explore and we see what's up. Black Boar Gate. These gates are to remain closed until further notice. If you wish to venture outside the walls, you can ride the ferry from West Shore Pier south of the Lancer Guild. Interesting. So where would the Black Boar Gate have taken us? I wonder if that's like a holdover from 1.0. Like there was an area that you may have been able to go. Sign Giled. We are delivering the stuff. So soon? I'm impressed. I placed my order only a short time ago, yet here are all the items I requested. Truly, Master Parsamantra is every bit as resourceful as they say. You're fortunate to work under such a man. You would do well to mold yourself in his image, if you have any aspirations as a merchant. I don't. On your feet. We're not through yet. But my legs, they're like jelly. Like, there's a Miko. More problems with squirrels. Ah, a fresh-faced adventurer. The very manner of person I had wished to meet. The Lancers Guild is looking for someone to track down and exterminate half a dozen squirrels. The infernal pests have been squeezing in under the floorboards every eve for the past several moons, and gnawing away at the support pillars. They have yet to inflict any serious structural damage, thank the builder, but I hesitate to bring such a trifling matter before the wood whalers or the god's quiver, hence my delight at your timely arrival. Why, an adventurer who could not dispatch such woodland nuisances is not worthy of the name. Not here in Gridania, at any rate. And you know what becomes of incapable adventurers. But perhaps it is best you do not. The squirrels of which I spoke can be found in the central shroud. Return to me once you have disposed of them, assuming the task is not beyond you. For your sake, I sincerely hope not. Alright, Jillian, what you got for us? Welcome to the Lancers Guild, adventurer. If you seek to refine your skills with the polearm, then you have come to the right place. Here at the Lancers Guild, spear wielders gather to train with one another and further hone their abilities under the tutelage of our fine instructors. Do you seek membership with us? I do. Very well, I shall provide you with an insight into the history of our guild. More than just an instrument of war, the spear is also a tool for hunting, which is technically just, war against a thing so you can eat. And with game ever plentiful in the Twelveswood, the weapon has been in the mainstay of the locals since before the founding of Gridania. With the passing of time, our nation became a gathering place for spearmasters from all across the realm, many eager to test their mettle against the famed might of the wood whalers. And it was here in Gridania that their myriad fighting styles came into contact, eventually giving rise to the art taught here today. That spear technique could be formalized at all owed much to the founding of the Lancers Guild by wood whaler Captain Mistal, nigh on a century past. The tradition of accepting students from without as well as within Gridania's borders persists to this day, ensuring that the art of the polearm not only survive but continue to evolve. And there you have it. I hope this brief history of the guild has settled any doubts in your mind. The Lancers Guild is always eager to welcome new initiates. If you have a will to enlist, speak with me again and we can begin the enrollment process. I have made up my mind. Excellent. I shall let Guildmaster Eorzea know to expect you. All who seek admittance to our ranks must present themselves before him. He will judge if you're fit to become one of us. Pray make your way to the training area within. Our Guildmaster awaits you there. Just doing push-ups all day. Disobey me again and it will be another 1,000. I feel like he's being serious. Stabby, stabby. Die, foul Ixel. Bend your knees. Straighten your back. Alright, Jolin. The Wailing Barracks lies beyond. If you have no business here, I would thank you to return what you came. Hey, got a Twitch chat there. Evelyn. So, what's up? Well met, adventurer. I understand you wish to learn the Lancer's art under our roof. I see you have some combat experience, yet it remains to be seen if such skills as you have acquired will avail you here. Stream's going well. We've just been doing a lot of unlocking of the classes in Gridania and exploring Gridania as we go. I think we've about hit the entire city. We're going to do Limsa, I think, next time. It's been fun. We've learned a lot about elementals and the history of Gridania. Stuff I had no idea about. But no matter, in my capacity as a guildmaster, I shall guide your training, beginning with the very basics, the principles of our art. There exist myriad fighting styles. I'm sorry, I can't take this seriously. Each of which has its own unique qualities. None, however, can claim to be as offensively minded as ours. Our approach is ever one of attack, no matter who or what we face. So I don't stream other games, I just do 14. For this and the content. I play lots of other things and like I do try to explore them as well, but for sake of stream, it's 14 right now. An experienced lancer is able to wield a polearm as if it were an extension of his body. He transforms into a raging storm before his foes, delivering a barrage of devastating thrusts and slashes. Yeah, do you play 14? To facilitate such a relentless assault, we Lancers forego plate, favoring armor of leather and chain, such materials as provide adequate protection without unduly hindering movement. A Lancer's worth may be measured quite simply in how swiftly and decisively he can pierce his enemy's defenses. By its nature, the polearm is a simple weapon to wield, for good or ill. Even in farmers' hands, it's capable of wreaking considerable havoc. Thus has it been a mainstay of every great army since ancient times. Yeah, you can totally ask me something. Yet know that a lance alone does not a lancer make. Faced with unfavorable odds, an unseasoned spearman will break formation and flee without a moment's hesitation. A true lancer, however, flinches not before his enemies, for he knows not the meaning of fear. Ever does he press forward, disdainful of the odds, that he might pierce the enemy line and open a path to victory. Which makes sense given, like, the guy in the quests, he's so obsessed with, you can't have any fear. Like, it's a mainstay of the lancer principles. So it's not just like it came out of nowhere for the guy. Needless to say, doing so requires no small amount of courage, and that is why our guild has striven from the first to instill the essential quality in every soul who passes through our halls. Arduous trials await you should you join our ranks. Knowing this, have you the resolve to wield the lance? I do. Well said, adventurer. One sec. Well said, adventurer. I see no reason to deny you a place within our ranks. But I neglected to introduce myself. I'm Eorzea, master of this guild. Pleasantries duly exchanged, I shall add to your hunting log the names of creatures against which a lancer might hone his skills. In celebration of the occasion, I hereby present you with your very own spear. Arm yourself with it and speak to me once more. I would have you undertake your first task, a trial to be precise. So why haven't I upgraded my channel with a bunch of stuff? Because it is brand spanking new and I have zero idea how to do any of it, and I am super busy at all times and I just haven't taken the time to figure it out. That's basically it. I would have you undertake your first task, a trial to be precise. Alright. you can send me all the things you would like. I'm happy to take a look. So, okay, we just unlocked Lancer, which, let's see. We've gotten all the ones here, then. And we've explored the entire city. And we're going to go report back in at the Leatherworkers Guild. Finish up any real quick quests. I do have a Discord, actually. It's for this... equip the spear, silly. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I'm so distracted. I will do that. Let me just grab something real fast. Here, I'll just post that there for you. You can take a look at your leisure. And I'm going to equip this spear real fast. And no, we do not want to update it on Conjurer. Again, we need to create a gear set. And we'll just move that up, 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 up. And I think that's fine for now. We got to talk to Owain again. What did he say? You were able to discern one end of the spear from the other. Good. I would hope so. You are doubtless eager to put your new weapon to the test, which is well, for I too have a test in mind, or rather, a trial. In order to develop an affinity with your weapon and learn to gauge such things as distance, you're to go forth and pit yourself against creatures that roam just outside the city. The squirrels, ladybugs, and funguars would provide with a suitable challenge. Put down, let's say, 3 of each, and then report back to me. Alright, so they've all given us the same task to go out and kill a bunch of stuff. Right now, we are reaching half a bell of rest, then it's back to the barracks. But I just sat down. You're complaining about how it's going to be too short? Half an hour, homie. Half of an hour. We already talked to her about going down to the East Shroud there. And then there's really nothing else over here, but I think this is like the last thing to really explore in the entire city. And I think we got it. And you got some fishing, got some boat. Alright, and a nice view. Quiet view. But I wouldn't mind fishing here, you know? Alright. We're gonna roll over to Makedo's or not Makedo's, the Leatherworkers Guild, turn that in. And then I think we're probably gonna call it for the day. Pick up again in Gridania, anything else just to pick up real fast. And then we'll also jump over to Limsa in the next stream, probably. Get those classes unlocked. It depends on how much stuff we do with the Central Shroud and the turning in of low-level quests and stuff. It'll be one or the other. We'll see when we get there. I am so all over the place. Alright, so Millicent. What's all this about? What is that? Dweemison says he needs his break. The nerve of that sniveling little guy, crying for relief at a time like this. Has he already forgotten how short-handed we are since that business with the Ixal the other day? And sending a bloody unknown adventurer to do his bleeding no less? That self-serving sod thinks only of his woes, rubbing his sore souls while welcoming all manner of gill-grabbing ventures into our holy wood. I read that as Hollywood. Useless fool. Makes me boil, it does. But it's not you I should be giving a piece of my mind to. You seem a decent enough sort, considering. Still, understand that it is our duty to keep an eye on every stranger that passes through these parts. Any road. I appreciate you lending your ear to my subordinate. Fool that he is. Go on then and stay out of trouble. Alright, let's just quickly check the Gridania quests. This is slay squirrels, ladybugs, report to the person in New Gridania, which we would have to be one of our combat classes. We can go finish that one. An ill-conceived venture is 9 Ivies, so that's out in East Shroud. This one is South Shroud for unlocking Palace of the Dead, and then this one is the Conjurer's Guild. So we'll hit that up. Conjurer's Guild first, probably. Then we'll go... Actually, they're both... Never mind, they're not both at... We'll go down this way, we'll hit the Harvest Dance one, we'll take an Ethernet to the Conjurer's Guild, and I think that will be a good stopping point for today. Yeah, hang on one sec. I will take care of something in the background. Let's see. Alright. My YouTube is stuttering. Of course it is. Of course it is. Give me one sec. Alright, so one sec. Let's talk to Yadith. It's the best I can figure out how to say her name. Well, I don't know what sorcery worked, but the younglings are back, and I do believe we've reached an accommodation. 'Twould seem I was stricter than I imagined, and loosening up a bit has made a great difference. The dance is for the Feast of the Harvest, to give thanks to Nafika and the elementals. There must be no aggression in this dance, lest the matron be angered. It's very, very important. I do realize I haven't made the best first impression, having you fetch my students for me. To make it up to you, will you let me show you the dance? Think of it as a kind of peace offering. It'll do as dances go. And I picked it up in like one whole second. It's kind of a long dance. And then there's Beaten. Why, you are a born dancer, dear sir. And so say we, and so say we. He comes over all threatening with his saw. Comes a sailor from the sea to show the laddies how it's done. And so say we, and so say we. Swings his axe and says, remember, shiver, shiver, me timbers. And so say we, and so say we. No, Master Beaten, what have you done? You brought a weapon to the sacred dance. The matron forgive us. We are surely doomed. Master Beaten, you scared her off. We were having fun. Timber Master Beaten, wasn't that a sailor song? How do you know it? Never mind how I know. More to the point, what could have troubled Mrs. Yedith so? You did! She said you're supposed to be peaceful or the elementals will be upset, and you know how uptight she gets. The course of relationships never does run smooth, child. You will all discover this in time. And we get our harvest dance. Alright, one thing we're going to do is roll over to the Conjurer's Guild as well. I didn't even see her fancy clogs. Okay, Conjurer's Guild. Alright, so we have to go right in between these two trees, because it talks about, like, the two become one. It's hard to actually tell, like, what that references, but they kind of, like, bind up in there. So you would never really see that unless you, like, got in place. And was it Prey, or is it Lookout? Yeah, it's Lookout. You've looked upon one of Eorzea's stirring vistas, as identified by the explorer Millith Ironheart. Return to Apkalu Falls and report your sighting. Which we can do from Miketos pretty quickly. And then, so, also the reason that it was stuttering for a moment was probably because I was tabbed out from the screen, and I have it set to use less CPU when it's tabbed away. It's my guess, at least. Welcome back, Eorzeon. I trust you are as moved by the sight as I was. The great stone that adorns the entrance to Stillglade Fane is none other than the Sky Serpent's egg. I honestly didn't notice a great stone that adorns the Stillglade Fane, cast down from the heavens by Nathika, the matron, so long ago. And those mammoth tree trunks, remnants, no doubt, of a primeval forest. Whence did they come? Why do the other two great arbors grow as one? This I do not know, but what I do know is that the realm is replete with such beauty, if we only know where to look. This is what compels me to wander, not the promise of power, glory, or riches, but a burning desire to bear witness to all wonders around us, as wrought by gods and men alike. Though we have just met, the twinkle in your eye tells me that we share certain aesthetic sensitivities. It would be my pleasure to gift you with a sightseeing log of your own. In its pages you will find my record the most stirring sights of the realm, both those I have seen with my own eyes, and those I have, thus far, at least, sorry, I butchered that sentence, and those I have thus far, at least, only heard of in my travels. No doubt your adventures keep you occupied, but is this not all the more reason to take in the sights as you travel, that both body and mind might enjoy a moment's respite from time to time? And who can say, perhaps you will discover glorious new vistas that have eluded even me. With that, I wish you safe travels, Eorzeon. When you've seen all there is to see, pray return to me. I would like nothing more than to share impressions with a fellow sensitive soul. You now have access to the Sightseeing Log, a compendium of the most beautiful sights to be seen in Eorzea, as compiled by the explorer Millith Ironheart. To open it, select Logs, followed by Sightseeing Log. From the snippets of information contained within, identify and seek out the locations described. Note that certain sites may only be properly appreciated at a given time of day or under ideal weather conditions. Perform the designated emote while taking in the sights, and the entry for the corresponding vista will be marked off. With your Sightseeing Log in hand, go forth and see Eorzea as few have ever seen her before. Logs, Sightseeing Log, so you get a little hint under the azure. I grazed down upon warships 3, their billowing sails of crimson, obviously somewhere in Limsa, leaving no doubt as to who truly rules the seas. Such were the merchant's words, and I would see what he saw. Anywho, we'll try to get them as we go, but in ARR they're not so clean-cut as in other expansions, so if we miss them, we miss them. You can't wait to spend 3 streams doing the Sightseeing Log in the future. We're not gonna go too ham on it, to be honest. If I think of one at the time, great, we'll get it done. But no, we're not gonna go too crazy on it. That said, it is just about 6 o'clock. It's been 2 hours, and we've explored all of Gridania in good time, unlocked the stuff in Gridania. Either we'll finish up with some of these newer classes, or we'll go to Limsa, not sure. But for now, I see you eyeing me in Mitra. We are going to wave, and we are going to say, I'll see you next time.